Good afternoon, the great people of Biafra all over the world. Good afternoon, the great people of Africa. I bring to you the proclamation issued by the members of the DOS with regards to all those people who are using the name of IPOB, using the IPOB name and the ESN to commit all sort of crime to another in Biafra land and in diaspora. So, in case if you are not aware of that broadcast last night, I will present it to you. But I am coming back very soon to analyze. I am coming back very soon to analyze that broadcast and speak my mind on that broadcast. It is very, very necessary when you are joining, you share this video, invite others to join. We are going to be live and we are going to be direct exactly 4 p.m. Biafra time. 4 p.m. Biafra time, we are going to be live to continue our normal exposition after we must have done analyzing the visitation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the report coming out from the visitation of Nnamdi Kanu, and among others. But for now, pay attention to this.
Yoruba man has spoken. Nigerians are not sincere. I didn't tell you before. He's telling you that their people are not sincere. Did I not tell you before that they are not sincere? You want to know what is insincerity? I will give to you the way it is. Because the zoo is patently evil.
Yes.
Nigeria is evil. Do you know how much they stole? 400 billion pounds is in Europe, is in Asia, according to UK group. Ocean Zoo, the amount of money they steal will start off as money. 400 billion. Very close to $1 trillion, an amount of money that can build second Niger bridge, pay for free education for every child, make sure that all roads are built, you have running water, you have electricity, your university is funded. 400 billion pounds stolen by the monkeys, and blame it on these people. You have 400 billion pounds stashed in 3 continents.
Oh yes, we be men joy night, but joy coming in the morning. Just a little money, but cannot be denied. Don't give up in your struggle. Chop, 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 chop. Sing it out. Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Never lose hope. Your blessings are on the way.
because of his life?
Well, my reaction is the same with that of most Nigerians who feel
Weeping may endure for a night,
Thank you,
but
Lord.
joy cometh in the morning.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you,
Destiny can only be delayed, but cannot be denied. Don't give up in your struggle. Chop, 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 chop. Sing it out. Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Never lose hope. Your blessings are on the way.
Don't give up. Oh, your miracle is on the way. Yeah, it's on the way.
No matter your condition, no matter your challenges,
Never give up.
no matter your situation, no matter the calamity,
Never give
He's
up.
the God of the last minute miracle.
It's the God of the last minute miracle.
He's the God of the last minute miracle.
It's the God of the last minute miracle.
Don't give up, your miracle is on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Never lose hope, your blessings are on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Chop, 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 chop.
I see you doing everything.
No matter your suffering, no matter the trouble, no matter your sickness, no matter the emptiness, He's the God of signs and wonders.
Yes, and wonder.
He's the God of signs and wonders. No matter your condition, no matter your challenges,
Never give up.
no matter your situation, no matter the calamity,
Never give up.
He's the God of the last minute miracle.
It's the God of the last minute miracle.
He's the God of the last minute miracle.
It's the God of the last minute miracle.
Don't give up, your miracle is on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Never lose hope, your blessings are on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Chop, 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 chop.
I see you doing
No matter your suffering, no matter the trouble, no matter your sickness, no matter the emptiness, He's the God of signs and wonders.
yes, and wonder.
He's the God of signs and wonders.
Signs and wonders.
Don't give up, your miracle is on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Never lose hope, your blessings are on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle.
No matter the emptiness, He's the God of signs and wonders.
Yes, and wonder.
He's the God of signs and wonders.
Signs and wonders.
Don't give up, your miracle is on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
Never lose hope, your blessings are on the way.
Don't give up. Your miracle is on the way.
He's the God of signs and wonders.
Signs and wonders. He's on the way. It's on the way. Never the song. Your blessings are on the way. Your miracle is on the way. Love, take over. My Father, take over. Yahweh, take over. Messiah, take over. Love, take over. My Father, take over. Yahweh, take over. Messiah, take over.
Let me start with you, Mr. Zako. What your reaction is to this rearrest of Nnamdi Kanu, seeing that in 2018 he jumped bail, though he was arrested in 2015, but according to him, he fled because of his life.
Well, my reaction is the same with that of most Nigerians who feel that Nnamdi Kanu receiving the short end of the knife from the federal government. Recall that he was arrested in 2015 and then kept in custody for 2 good years without trial, over and against all provisions of the law, over and against all pronouncements of court that he should be either taken to court or be released on bail. But federal government refused, neglected and denied to grant him his constitutionally guaranteed right. And then even when he was eventually taken to court, the same federal government, through the instrumentalities of coercion, sent the military to ransack his community and threaten his life. In the process, many people lost their lives. It is not hidden. And in the course of this struggle, Nnamdi Kanu has lost both parents, and even though not killed directly by the federal government, by the trauma of his ordeal may have led to the death of his parents.
So?
The trauma of his ordeal. He said so himself. I don't think so. He said so himself.
Right.
And a man was on bail, and then he was ready and was going to court, and all of a sudden the soldiers swooped onto him, and then of course it is only a tree that will hear that it is about to be cut down and remain standing at that spot.
So it was right for him to jump bail.
Every human being, every animal, not just a human being, that feels threatened by any way in any manner would likely shift ground. So if Nigeria begin to look at the narrative of jumping bail, that would be unfair to Nnamdi Kanu. The narrative is that, yes, very unfair.
Why
the
so?
narrative is that his life was threatened, obviously threatened, and he had to run away, which is a national stimulus of every human being and of every animal. Even if you have a goat at your backyard and you approach the goat with food in one hand and with stick on the other hand, the goat will reject your food.
Don't you think that while he was in custody, his life could also have been threatened if that is what government was trying to do?
Why did you not ask the soldiers what they went to do in his house?
Right.
That should be the right question. What did the soldiers go to do in his house? In the process, people lost their lives. What did they go there to do? At that point, what did he do? Even if he had committed any offense in the eye of the law, or
right,
in the opinion of the government, what did the soldiers go to Nnamdi Kanu's house to do?
Wasn't he being investigated at the time?
When he was enjoying the bail granted him by the court after 2 years of unlawful incarceration? These are the critical questions, because I like to analyze issues based on cause and effect.
Right.
What was the cause? And what happened to be the effect? The cause is that federal government acted very unlawfully. The cause is that the soldiers went to his house unlawfully. The cause is that his life was threatened. And the effect is that he had to run away, which is the natural stimulus of every animal, not just every individual.
Let's get Jide Ologun's reaction to the statement that you have made. He said government acted unlawfully, and it was the effect of that made Nnamdi Kanu jump bail.
Nnamdi Kanu himself mentioned the fact that he could have been killed with the others who were killed in his residence when the military came invading. And that's maybe a valid argument, but the issue now is that he has been rearrested. He was going through trial, and if you look at the Constitution of Nigeria, Section 36 or Section 5 in particular, 1999 as amended, he's entitled to what we call presumption of innocence. There are allegations against him of instigating terrorism, you know, different charges, and unless these allegations are proved beyond all reasonable doubt in the criminal justice value chain, he may not be convicted. So it's now for the government. But my concern really, and my fear, is that with recent developments in the country, for example, the high level of insecurity, wanton destructions in the southeastern part of the country, that he is allegedly instigating even from abroad, it may be a tough one. But you know, my concern goes beyond this rearrest of Nnamdi Kanu. What are the issues in the country? Nnamdi Kanu himself was born, I think, September 25, 1967, and that was when the civil war started. That lasted for about 3 years, claiming millions of lives in Nigeria. And the issues that prompted this, we are yet to resolve in Nigeria. And like the Northern Coalition Group is saying, that this Nnamdi Kanu issue may not disappear with the rearrest. Can we look in the direction of referendum? And right now in the country, it's not just about Biafra. Other regions of the country are agitating. And what are these agitations focusing on? The engagement of the commonwealth of this country for the common good of this country. And unless we address this, we'll be arresting and rearresting and, you know, stampeding. That's on one side. On the other side, I think this has punctuated, or rather confirmed, the capacity we talk about of the government to act if they want to act. I have mentioned it when it was time to get Nnamdi Kanu to proscribe IPOB, they acted. When it was time to get him, you know, to make him run away, they acted. Can we, you know, divert the same attention to the bandits, the unknown gunmen, and solve the crisis in this land? And finally, I want to advise this morning that the government should please look in the direction of public relations. The definition of public relations means that, you know, a planned, deliberate and sustained effort to create and sustain mutual understanding between an organization or a country and the publics. So can we come together as a nation, address our issues, rather than all these confrontations that are keeping us in poverty and not allowing us to register our presence in the polity of developed countries?
Right, there's something he mentioned that I'd like for you to react to. He said that the agitations, though Nnamdi Kanu may have been rearrested, but that the issues and the agitations, what he's championing, may not go to rest. And the question on the minds of a lot of people is, the agitations we have seen in the Southeast, would his rearrest actually fuel what we have been seeing in the Southeast?
Well, his rearrest will not just fuel it. What will fuel more agitation is if he's not given fair trial. If the people perceive persecution instead of diligent, lawful prosecution and fair trial, then there will likely to be some backlash. My brother and friend Ajide mentioned the issue of referendum. And the question is, why is Nigeria of today shying away from that much needed referendum? On 11 February 1961, there was a referendum to determine the life of the British Cameroon. And in that referendum, the northern British Cameroon decided to go to Nigeria, and the southern British Cameroon decided to go to Cameroon. A lot of issues about religion and the rest played out. On 1063, Nigeria that we have today went into a referendum to determine the life of the old Midwestern region. And it was carved out from the then Western region through a referendum. In Catalan, a area, region of Spain, they want them on whether they are going to remain or not. In Kurdish region of Turkey, of Iraq, sorry, there was a referendum. In Britain of late, there was a referendum whether they are going to remain with EU or whether they are going to go out of EU.
Absolutely.
So what the agitation that Nnamdi Kanu is championing is a civil agitation which the federal government has given the tent of criminality. It's embarrassing that government will do the normal Nigerian approach where a man and another man has issues with their land. They are tussling for land. The other man wants to bring in the police. He says there is threat to his life, that he tried to kill him and all that. Meanwhile, none of those things existed. Otherwise, what has Nnamdi Kanu done as a person that will warrant the charges of treason, that will warrant the charges of money laundering, that will warrant the charges, those high-ranking charges, which of course, government knows that they have to prove beyond all reasonable doubt.
Absolutely.
And it is the lack of that proof that has made government in the first instance to keep Nnamdi Kanu unlawfully in detention for 2 good years. You know what that means? And then even when he has now started going through his trial, government could not have the patience to wait for the law to take its course, and they stampeded him out of the country. Who is now the culprit in the matter between Nnamdi Kanu and federal government? I mean, let's look at issues the way they are and not just being sentimental about, oh, he's insulting anybody. When has insult become a crime?
Right.
It is a law of thought. It is a tortious offense of which, if you feel insulted, when America was going for election, somebody made an image of Donald Trump, a naked image of Donald Trump with a small ball, and kept it in a massive square. Did you not see it? Had Donald Trump killed him? The problem we have today is that we are not operating democracy. What we have is a civilian rule managed by military hands. And those tenets of democracy are lacking in Nigeria. Otherwise, why would federal government be so sensuous about issues of criticism and issues of civil agitation? What is wrong with that? If we go by way of referendum, if the same government is saying that Nnamdi Kanu has so many followers, does that not tell you something? If he is alone, would he have such followers? If the government now claims that the followers are essentially illiterate, conduct a referendum and say, let only those with school cert. Of course, you know that to be a president in Nigeria, you need only school certificate. Right. To be a senator, a governor, only school certificate. Conduct a referendum and place a benchmark that only those with school certificate would vote in that referendum, and let us see whether Nnamdi Kanu is alone or not. Government is shying away from the truth, and government is hiding from its shadows.
Now, let's get your reaction to this again, Ajide, because he mentioned some things, talking about referendum and talking about fair trial and perhaps persecution, as he mentioned. And I'm wondering, in the context of fair trial, what will that be? In the context of persecution, what will that be? So perhaps you could just help us throw light to it before we come to.
Have you asked yourself, why is it that you see somebody in your village, maybe a young man, that everybody is against because maybe he's a bad guy, because he's schooled, after schooling nothing, he cannot find a job, no money to start his own business. Now he start doing bad things. Now people are saying that this boy is no more, that he will die a criminal, he is this, he is that. Everybody look down on that boy. But all of a sudden, God help him, maybe he traveled to Japan, for example. He saw himself and traveling to Japan. That person that everybody has cancelled as a pauper, all of a sudden he starts he starts making money. He starts working, living decent life in Japan. Before you know, he will come home, build house, nice house, start putting his even helping the people around him, children to go to school. But the person inside that place, inside in the country, he was nothing. Not that why does it mean that he went to Japan and now turned to visit Christ or start being ordinary? No, he entered an organized system. A system that promotes meritocracy is the first thing for a country to advance. Meritocracy. Now, he now discovered that, look, this is who I am. I have this talent. I can do this. And the system didn't even discriminate. They just saw, oh, you can do this. Now they give him the opportunity. The opportunity that he cannot have in Nigeria. Do you see why people progress outside? That is why all we are yearning for, hustling for, all we are fighting, agitating for, is to create that system. The system that will, that will bring meritocracy, that will cherish meritocracy, so that everybody could be able to advance. If you fail in that system, it is not the system's fault, it is your fault. Maybe you are lazy. Do you understand? A system that we cannot have in Nigeria. Do you understand me? Therefore, please, before continuing, I will be right back. Let me try to bring Mazi Nnamdi, please. I'll be right back.
To the issue of why we are seemingly finding it difficult to have the referendum that he is, talking about.
Basically, the state will be prosecuting, and in the criminal justice value chain, you need thorough investigation, diligent prosecution, and a committed judiciary. But right now, there is a deep-rooted mutual distrust in the country. So you see people even looking at the tribe of the judge that is handling the case, the body language of the government, making different kinds of comments. But having said that, this same government promised towards 2015 election to shift the burden of proof from the state to the accused in criminal prosecution. That has not been done. And he has a team of lawyers who will defend him. Having said that, I have hinted that the present crisis in the southeastern parts of the country may be prompted like trying to call the cat a bad name to hang it. And again, I want to emphasize an issue that what we are experiencing today has a history. I doubt if any of the present leaders of Nigeria was there to sign the 1914 amalgamation. What led to the May 1953 Kanu riot are still the issues we are debating today. What led to the Civil War of 1970? There are issues we are debating. Now, let me connect this to even the present trajectory. Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. Allegedly, he moved from Britain to Singapore and to Zurich, where he was allegedly rearrested and brought back to Nigeria. Now, Britain has exited Europe through Brexit by choice. They debated it. In fact, the Prime Minister then, because his position did not fly, resigned from office. All right, allowing the people to take a decision. Having said that, Singapore left Malaysia in 1965. And today, by virtue of resourceful leadership, is one of the best countries to live and work in the world. Is this relationship working? If we must remain united, can we have what is enshrined in Section 17 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, that says that a platform for our coexistence will be based on justice, fairness, and freedom? If we cannot guarantee this, and if again we want to even focus on the primary purpose of government as enshrined in Section 14 subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, that says that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government, and people of Nigeria, citizens, can call for security, call for welfare, if they appear not to be enjoying it from the government that should be providing. So why don't we go back to the basics? Because the Chinese say that you cannot carve a rotten wood. It appears right now that the project Nigeria we are trying to present and project and protect may be a rotten wood. Can we have a wood that can be carved? Can we work together so that we can enjoy the blessings of this nation? Like I said earlier, how can we engage the commonwealth of Nigeria for the common good of Nigerians? And I think that is the concern we have now, not just in the southeastern part of the country. Now we have the southwestern people also. Agitation. We now have the Amotekun everywhere, even in the north. I just mentioned it now. The Northern Coalition are the ones saying this issue of Nnamdi Kanu will not go away. That can we have a referendum? And basically, democracy started in Athens in Greece. It is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. You don't forcefully lead a people. And the essence of being a nation is to enjoy the fortunes of that nation. So I want the government to go beyond this and look at the big picture rather than dealing with symptoms. And having put all this together, we constitutionally is entitled to very, fair trial and diligent prosecution. And I've said it, that is if the trust capital is there for the government. And my big question this morning is that, looking at the antecedents we have experienced in Nigeria of late, is the trust capital there to assure us that there will be justice at the end of the day?
That's the question I'll be throwing to you. Is that trust capital there to assure the people of a fair trial?
I want to be optimistic, except government doesn't want to be sensitive. I want to be optimistic that government should, I use the word government, yes, advisedly, because we know what we're talking about. That government should ensure that Nnamdi Kanu gets fair trial. A leader of a movement that is idealistic, a movement that is based on consciousness and not on physical realm, right? A movement that is based and that is etched an opinion, a phenomenon that is etched in the mind and the psyche of the people. Anybody who is that leader must be handled very carefully. Nnamdi Kanu has said it, and we all say it, that he has lost virtually everything in this movement. Not just that he has lost his parents, he has no property anywhere, he has challenged anybody. If you see him own property anywhere in the world, you can go ahead and see that property. That this is a cause that he wants to fight for. And the people that he is fighting for feel he is doing it well. And they want to sustain the tempo. They want to sustain the agitation. Forget the fact that some elite want to play the ostrich. I can tell you for free, Veronica, that nobody is enjoying the level of injustice, massive inequity, level of unfairness that is going on in Nigeria, because such level of injustice, inequity, and unfairness has held Nigeria down, has not allowed the people to exhibit and fulfill their God-given potentials and talent, to the extent that even the huge resources we have, both human and material, in this country adequately harnessed. Life in Nigeria has become Herculean, and nobody's enjoying it. People are now saying, what is the way out? In every suggestion from both the elite, from the masses, from everybody, the solution is, let there be fairness and equity. Let us negotiate the basic essence of our existence. Because this was foisted on us. And as human beings, we should be able to determine two cannot work except they agree. There is no agreement in Nigeria. Nigeria is cracking. So why don't we, as intelligent people that God has made us, come together and decide, how do we relate? The template is there. We've been talking about it. We say restructure Nigeria and allow everybody to unleash his or her energies, and if you don't restructure Nigeria, allow the country to grow on the paradigm of justice and equity.
But you will recall what the president's statement recently, he asked the question, what is there to restructure? What did he see? The people want restructure.
What did he see?
And he also had said that the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable.
Look, Veronica, what did Mr. President see when he promised restructuring prior to 2015 election? Without that restructuring, Do you think Nigerians would have elected him? Because he proved that. Nigerians elected him. So let him answer that question. What did he see then? And then what is he not seeing today? And who is telling Mr. President that restructuring is equal to disunity? It is even lack of restructuring that will fan the embers of disunity as it is fanning today, that will terminate the life of this country as it is threatening to terminate. And that is why Nigeria is on a precipice. So anybody who wants to be honest to himself should know that this agitation cannot just die. This call cannot just cease because, one, the trust capital in Nigeria has diminished so much across all nations that make up this country. In the early 60s, Chief Obafemi would describe Nigeria as a geographical expression. We expected that almost 50 years, more than 50 years down the line, that expression would have become a nation. But instead of doing that, Nigeria decays by the decade. Every succeeding decade is worse in terms of development, in terms of unity, in terms of everything. So why can't we arrest this continuous decay, this geometrical decay that we are seeing? Are we going to wait until the country implodes? That naturally religious people will say, God forbid. But God can only forbid when we as Nigerians forbid that Nigeria dies. If we don't, I can tell you the trajectory we are taking, the direction we are going, does not ensure or guarantee the continued existence, success, and survival and development of this country. And the rest of the world must be interested in what is going on in Nigeria.
Right.
The news yesterday was that Ghana has launched a plant to build automobile. The big news in Nigeria yesterday was that Nnamdi Kanu was arrested. Can you see the difference?
Right. Now, he mentioned something, Jide, that I'd like for you to react to. He said the president before 2015 had promised to restructure. And what did he see then that he is not seeing now? And I'm asking, could that be the basis for the distrust, the trust deficit that we are seeing today expressing itself in various dimensions?
Absolutely. In public relations, we talk about walking your talk. So if there were promises, you'll be evaluated on those promises. And recall that insecurity was an issue towards 2015 election, and the government were coming in promise to deal with insecurity, to fight corruption, and to work on the economy. And you will agree with me, let's start from the economy angle, that if the total indebtedness of Nigeria was about 12.12 trillion naira in 2015, and today it's about 33.11 trillion naira, you ask what we have done there. If the dollar rate today is 500 naira to a dollar, and it was about 190 in 2015, how well have we done? If today 323 persons were killed in Kaduna in 3 months, 949 kidnapped in the same 3 months, then we ask ourselves about insecurity. If today the Boko Haram that started in the northeastern part of the country, reportedly by the president himself, that the way they were handling the matter has pushed them to all parts of the country, you still want to benchmark the security state of the country. So I think we have a chronic crisis in our hands, and we must just decide that if we must united, as declared in the word of God in Psalms 133. Psalms 133 says, behold, how beautiful it is when brethren dwell together in unity. That God says he will release his blessings. Let me say this. Nigeria has the largest deposit of proven gas in Africa. What have we benefited from it? Professor Konjo Iweala is the DG of World Trade Organization. What have we benefited from it? Dr. Adesina is the president of African Development Bank. What have we benefited? We have our own in the United Nations General Assembly, and all we talk about is insecurity, insecurity, insecurity. It's insecurity and industry. I just want to propose this morning, there are things you embark on to create a healthy nation. You build a civil society, not a militant society like we are doing. We are radicalizing the people of Nigeria against one another. You ignite and activate the economy to create wealth. You empower the private sector to support. Give us electricity. We have all the energy mix in Nigeria. Now, NNPC is telling us that they are drifting towards zero remittance to the Federation account. Is that a good news? You know how I think I heard this morning the billions of naira that go into subsidizing electricity. Billions of naira that, I mean, about, we are even buying into the Dangote refinery. And if you read from section 15 to section 16 of Nigerian Constitution 1990 as amended, it has stipulated how the economy should be managed to have sustainable development.
My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu. I welcome each and every one of you back in this hallowed platform. Today is the 14th day of December in the year of our Lord 2021. I am now joined by Mazi Nnamdi. You have to excuse us, please, for the delay. Just few minutes delay, but we must continue. As I said before, there are many things to say, many pronouncements to be made. That is why, contrary to what I said yesterday, it will not be open conversation with the public for today, please. Therefore, I am joined by Mazi Nnamdi. Mazi, welcome to the program. Can you hear me?
Mazi Jonathan, good evening. Am I coming out very clear?
You are crystal clear. Please go on.
Jonathan, fellow comrades, fellow Biafrans, lover. My name is Mazi Nnamdi. Mazi Nnamdi served the indigenous people of Biafra, head of state. I am from Obingwa. Obingwa is in Aba province. This evening, before I proceed, this opportunity to thank my host, Mazi Chinedu, Jonathan, and also thank all other Radio Biafra hosts to defend this movement. Also, I'm using this opportunity to thank all IPOB media warriors, principal officers, our finance officers, our mobilization officers, wherever you are this evening. I'm saying all of you are doing a great job. In a couple of days, it will be 6 months. Our leader was kidnapped, adopted, and renditioned to Nigeria from Kenya. 6 months. We have all stood very fast. We have stood our ground. We continue to hold the mantle of this struggle, and we are going to continue to hold it until our leader is released additionally, and the referendum is given to the people of Biafra, and Biafra is restored. This evening, I have come to you, Biafrans, today message, as our leader normally said, if you don't have your pen and papers, kindly find one. If your families are not listening to Radio Biafra this evening, tell them to come close, because the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra through Mazi Nnamdi we made some landmark decisions this evening. We will draw the line of the battle from those who have come to destroy this movement. We have not come here to play. People have died in this struggle. Families have been wiped out. Homes have been destroyed. the Nigerian government, and therefore, there are a lot of things going to touch. In this clarification today, you will have no other thing than to blame yourself if you think you can go against the leadership of indigenous people of Biafra. Reasons are because if tomorrow our leader will be released from the hands of the DSS dungeon, if anything goes, most of you on Facebook will disappear in thin air. Every blame, if we fail, will be the Directorate of State and other members of the DOS. And for that reason, we have taken enough from those who have worked very closely with the Nigerian government, who have worked with the enemies of Biafra to make sure that our leader was released. And at the end of the day, they are also very, very careful, working day and night to make sure our leader is not released. And this evening, I will tell Biafrans their tactics and all their plans. We are in the last month of the year. 2 days back, one year it was formed by our leader and the members of this leadership to protect our land. So far, ESN have done a very good job. We cannot deny the fact that people have used the name of Eastern Security Network to commit some crimes. People have used the Eastern Security Network to harass people. People, criminals, kidnappers, they have used the name of Eastern Security Network. Some have used the name of its IPOB. Some have used the name of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to defraud people. Some have used the name of IPOB to destroy. Some have used the name of Eastern Security Network. We know in a movement like this, and coming from that part of the world, where most of our people mentality and the corrupt mind of that corruption called Nigeria, we know these kind of things might happen. But for the fact we are looking for a nation, whatever we are going to read tomorrow, that is the reason why this evening, Mazi Nnamdi, any pronouncement I will make here this evening, it is by the authority, the highest command of this movement. And I am making any pronouncement with the backing of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the members of the DOS, that whatever we will say, that is how it's going to be.
What is this, Mazi? You're this thing. My goodness me. Mazi, please go on.
Yes, it seems like we have some few seconds cut off. Okay. Therefore, dear friends, I'm making this evening, any instruction being given on this platform, Radio Biafra today, it is the final. And if you think that you can hang around to destroy this movement, I'm telling you, your time is up. Any pronouncement I will make this evening, instruction that will be given this evening, if you think you are bigger than IPOB, if you think you are bigger than ESN, and you think you are bigger than this movement, I can tell you, we are not going to take all this nonsense any longer. Whatever you want to do, you are free to do in your own platforms. Whatever you want to say, you can any word, but not inside IPOB. You cannot drag the name of IPOB on the mud. You cannot drag the name of ESN in the mud. You cannot use the name of ESN and IPOB to defend. You cannot use the name of this hard movement to make caricature. And for that reason, Mazi Nnamdi, I will on and on the process orders towards the end of this program, and that is why I am here this evening. And unfortunately, I will pick people's call, but we will explain to them what they do not know, because in this hallowed platform, one thing people don't understand is this: you might be a doctor that is in your own field, but as long as IPOB is concerned, this movement is concerned. For now, we are handling this movement. Tomorrow, you might sit here and you can do your own thing. But for now, the DOS is in charge of this movement, and we are not going to tolerate all those people who are working, who are double agents inside IPOB. Decisions will be made on them. You can no more serve two masters at a time in this movement. And that this evening, we will make some specific, we will call out names, people who are using the name of ESN to commit crimes in Anambra State. And that in subsequent broadcasts, I will come to mention all those who are using the name of this movement to commit all kind of atrocities. After 1 year of ESN, after 1 year of their service to their land, we have gone so far, we have made tremendous effort to keep our land and our forest safe. But those who are working with the Nigerian government will beg for money. They want to give a dog a bad name. They want to make sure that our leader remains in prison. That is why they mushroom groups with artificial guns, baby freedom fighters running around making YouTube, talking rubbish. And for that reason, we are not going to take it any longer. Thank you, Mazi Nnamdi. If I will clarify certain things through our discussion before those pronouncements will be made. Thank you.
There were, but I think your gadget, your system should, because it's coming, increasing, and going down sometime. Please stabilize it.
Is that my internet or?
Yes,
what?
It should be, yes, but no, it should be on the system,
okay.
Not on the internet.
Just what you will do for me, just a minute, let me switch to another system.
Okay.
That would be the best thing to do, because I don't want anybody to miss anything that I say this evening.
Yes, I don't think it's about the internet, please. I think it's the system itself.
The system, yes,
that's louder, and sometimes.
Yes, let me switch. Just be on. I will switch on to another system. Okay, thank you.
Okay. We must continue. Do not forget that we are live and direct today, being the 1st day of December in the year of our Lord 2021. I am here live with Mazi Nnamdi in the capacity of a member of the Directorate of States, and there are pronouncements that should be made. Therefore, you listen attentively. What we are doing is about life and death. Life and death is not a joking matter. It's not something that I can do it. You know what you can do, I can do it. No. This is something that concerns our fate, our future. The future generations coming. Mazi, are you okay? Okay, let me. Mazi, are you okay now?
Mazi, is this one okay now?
Yeah, it's better. I think it's good. It's good. It's better. Hope you can hear me.
This is okay now, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue
Okay,
here.
we must go. Yeah. The first thing I want you to talk about is sometime I saw in your private timeline, in your page, in your timeline, you wrote, and I quote, let me a kind of paraphrase. You say, if you say that DOS is not doing anything, make yourself available for them to give you an assignment. Please, I want you to expatiate in more details what you mean by that, please, because people are saying, people that are blaming DOS, they are not doing nothing. There is nothing on the ground, this and that. So please, and I saw the write up in your timeline. So please, can you?
Yeah, you know, they said answer the foolish people sometimes in a foolish way, so that they will not think that they are wise. That is exactly what happened there. You know, you come to social media. We are on social media. I joined. I was in social media from 2009. That is when I started to be on Facebook. Before Facebook took down my social media, so people cannot tell me I have been on social media. I'm an old school on social media, and it's a crazy world. It is also where information can be. You can learn a lot from social media. I do take my time to read people's comments. Sometimes people think what we are doing is something we talk on social media, on Facebook. People think that this freedom fighting is an entertainment business. No, people are dying. It is not a dancing. It's not a dancing show. It's not for fun. This is a serious business. So when some people can be misguided when they see people come on the social media to dance for them, to make something they like, for us that is not why we are here. And when they talk too much, we ask them if truly, because most times some of those people you do see they come to talk about on social media, some of them have never even posted anything about Biafra. That is how you know them. On their timeline, they have never posted anything about this struggle on their timeline. 90% of them, that is how you spot them. They are those ones that were sent by the agents to attack the real IPOB activists. So, or Biafran. So, along the line, if you want to test who is who, are they ready? It doesn't take them anything. IPOB have a lot of assignment to do. They say that we want to do something. We don't, you understand me? Talk. They said we talk. Yes, we have to talk, because IPOB is a global movement. We are not violent. Every conviction, millions of people today following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, following him because he was talking, and he continued to talk. And that is what he has taught us, that we can only win this argument with a superior argument. So we are always ready to talk. We are always to sample our opinion. And where do we do that? On the social media. And that is it. And in real terms, anybody who says he can do anything for IPOB to make this struggle, to get the head of somebody like Hope Uzodinma or all these our enemies, that they will come and tell you, then you come now, we sent you.
I want to steer to another direction right now concerning ESN. You know, this is their first year anniversary. What do you think, or what can you enumerate, if possible, achievements, if any, of ESN, please, so that people will hear you?
Mazi, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Everybody, there have has never been in a history any security outfit in Nigeria or wider, I have known within our own geographical space, that we have seen that when that security outfit was formed by our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and launched on 12th of December last year, there have never been a security outfit wholeheartedly accepted by people anywhere I can ever remember. It was a welcome development because ESN came at the right